That's true. No, my mic is on. Pablo, thank you very much for the confirmation. There was a trouble with my voice because I have to switch off. You know, I have 5 screens in Fire Me plus 2 more, 7 screens, and suddenly, yes. Thank you, Pablo. I have to close the mic in several places, and it's a little difficult. So again, I was saying that hello, Mahinour, and you're located in. What is your place?
Cairo, Egypt.
Cairo, Egypt, and your time is.
Now 3 minutes.
7 or 3 minutes. Exactly than us, that we are 6 and you are 7. So we only have from Spain to Egypt 1 hour of difference. But for colleagues in India, I imagine that still there has to be someone. Manas is hello from India. Manas, what time is he here in India now? We can hear Andrew. I think, Rian, that you can hear me now. I was saying, Manas, what time is it here in India? It takes a bit to go through the YouTube and come back to other world. So it's late. So that's the point. Let's gonna start. 10:30 p.m. That's crazy. So let's gonna start with the session. Today's session is okay. I think it's very nice. It's a experience you are gonna share with us. But also I have something that I was not prepared, but I'm gonna do it in a second because I'm controlling my system, I hope. And then let me try to find. Yes. I think today is a very nice day to have this streaming with you. Also because Mahinour is gonna collaborate with us this week. Has already collaborated with us. We're gonna make a next week. This week is the celebration of the International Women's Day, and I'm gonna share it in a second. It's being shared on the YouTube. Mahinour, you're not seeing it, but I'm sharing the big flyer of the event. We are gonna have on the 15th of March. We are going to have a local event here in Lleida. It will be streamed also, but it will be in Spanish, or in Catalan even. And it will be on 15th. Mahinour and other colleagues from the Liquid Galaxy community, your other two girls that are here, have sent some nice videos explaining your experience about women in tech, and also have something like 2, 4, 5. We have a lot of women in this event. So thank you, Mahinour, for helping us through the year, for explaining your own experience. Yes. And as I said, it's nice to have you today because this week is the International Women's Day. Next March 8th. We will have our event in 15, but it's the 8th of March. And this is nice. So nothing else. So please share your screen with whatever you have to show us. This is going to be a session talking about the installing of a virtual Liquid Galaxy system. I will say that a lot of the contributors have already done that. I can tell you because the number is public. More than 50 people have already developed a virtual Liquid Galaxy. That is task 1, and still there are more people that will come. So this session is valid just to share your experience, Mahinour, and also for these guys that do not have still developed their own virtual setup. 1 second, that I'm seeing your scene is not correct. I have to change something. I am with OBS, so it's pretty easy to modify in real time. Sometimes I make changes. Now your face is totally on the screen. So Mahinour, press on the button down saying height. We're sharing your screen. You see that?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm going to switch on my camera, and if you need something, I'm here. And remember, please, remember to all the people in the YouTube chat: Vivek, Joseph, Manas, Ryan, Pablo, Rofaida. Hey, Rofaida is also there. Manas, if you have any question, please write your question in the YouTube chat, and Mahinour will try to answer at the end. This is going to be, I would say, a long session. I don't know. But thank you, Mahinour, for preparing it. And the screen is yours.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I'm Mahinour from Cairo, Egypt, and today I'm going to be presenting one of the main or one of the essential things every contributor has to know in order to start with Liquid Galaxy, which is the Liquid Galaxy Rig Virtual Setup. And many contributors find it challenging or hard to be done, and they face many errors. But I'm here today to tell you that it's very easy. You just have to follow the documentation rules, and don't skip anything, because if you skipped anything, it will mainly cause an error. So let's get started now. This is our agenda for today, but I'm going to start first with some of the Liquid Galaxy setup steps, because some of them takes time, such as the Ubuntu installation and any kind of installation. So while it's going to be installed, I'm going to continue with the slides, so not to waste much time. So first of all, you have to make sure before your setup that you have at least 8 GB of RAM and that you have sufficient storage memory. And we have 12 essential steps in order to make the setup. First one is installing Ubuntu image, and it has to be 16.04.7 version, because some of you think that why not install the upgraded version, but this causes errors. So you have to install this version, the 16.04.7. You also have to install the VirtualBox. Let me just show you the links. So you can download the VirtualBox from here, and you have 2 links for the Ubuntu image, either from the Drive link or from the official link. And I will have these links available after the presentation at Discord, and they are also available at the last slide of this presentation. So let's get back to the slides. So the third step is creating an app network. So let's go onto our VirtualBox and do that. Okay, so here's our VirtualBox. Let's go and do our NAT network. So we go to the network, and here you have NAT network, and right-click and create. And now you have to enable IPv6, and for the prefix, I'm just going to copy it from here. And then you have to paste it here. So now we have created our NAT network, and let's go back to the steps. So the fourth step is setting up the LGs. So let's go back to the VirtualBox, and let's start with setting up the master machine first. So we go here, new. Let's rename it LG1 for the master machine, and you choose the location you want to save it in. And then for the image, you select the Ubuntu image you installed. So here it is, I have it here. And then you check skip unattended installation. Then next. Here you can choose anything, but the best or the most suitable one is 1800 megabytes. And you will have to choose one, but if any of the virtual machines crashed, you have to increase the cores to, for example, 2. But not more, because if you increase it too much, it will also crash. So I guess 2 is the most optimal, but let's do it 1 for now. And if any of the virtual machines crashed, we're going to increase the cores. Here also, the best one to choose is 18 gigabytes. And next. Now we have our first one. So we're going to do the same exact step with LG2 and LG3. So we get back here, new. And we choose our image and check this. And next, and 18 here. And we're done with the second one. And now the last one. and we're doing the same exact steps. Okay, so now we have our three machines right here. Let's get back to the presentation. So the next step is to configure the NAT network on those machines. So we get back to the VirtualBox. We have to start with the master machine. So we go here, and to configure the NAT network, we go to Setting, and here Network. And for adapter 1, the default one is NAT. So we're going to choose the NAT network, and okay. Same thing here. Okay, I'm going to explain everything in detail, but just like I told you, I'm going to explain them while the installation is running, so not to waste time. So don't worry about that. Okay, let's get back. The next step is to the Ubuntu installation step. So let's power our VMs up. So we just wait for them to open up. You can also view scale mode, so they are not very big. Once they open up, they will show that we want to install Ubuntu, and then we will continue with the installation steps. Yes, so here it is. Okay, so we choose install Ubuntu, and install Ubuntu. And we check those two, continue. So here we choose something else and continue. And here we do a new partition table, continue. And here we click on this plus. And here we choose swap area. And we it's 104. We also do the same, but here we just mount this one, and okay. Let's do the same here, and same here, and let's do the same. One also for and swap area. Okay, and here we also do the mounting. Okay, and here we do the same. Okay, so now all three. Okay, we finished this. Now we install. Continue and install. Continue. And continue. Okay, so here the name, let it be LG, and the computer's name, we have to name it as LG1 since this is LG1. We choose a password, any password we want, and log in automatically. I prefer that all the three have the same password so we don't forget or don't get confused. But it's of course up to you. And here it's LG2 and the password. And login automatically. Here the same LG, but this is LG3. And password. And login automatically. Okay, so yes, everything is right. Now continue. Okay, so now it's getting installed. Now let's get back to the presentation because this takes some time. So not to waste time, I'm going to proceed with the slide now. So let me proceed with the slide. Okay, so we're done with the 6 steps, the first 6 steps. We have also another 6 steps, but we're going to proceed after the installation. Okay, so now let's start with the slides. What is Liquid Galaxy? Liquid Galaxy is a remarkable panoramic interactive system that started off by running Google Earth with small clusters of PCs, but it now expanded to run any open source application. Imagine an enlarged view and a panoramic view of anything in the world. It's just amazing. And it happens by integrating multiple screens into one. And now Liquid Galaxy is used in real life in many applications and in many fields such as education, training, games, medicine, and many more. Liquid Galaxy setup is 3 or more PCs, and they are all connected together in a master-slave architecture. So typically the navigation happens through the master, and then the location of the master is broadcasted to the slaves. So now the slaves know their location in reference to the master, and this is done by SSH message passing. And this is how we see that all the machines are synchronized together. So now let's go to some network terminologies, because for this setup you have to know some of the basic network terminologies so as to understand the process, and if any error happened to you, you would have an intuition of what could possibly be the error, or just to understand what is everything and what's going on. So let's go to some network terminologies. Okay, so first of all, we have public IP address. It is the publicly registered on the internet to allow any device to have access to the internet. And we have a private IP address. It doesn't connect to the internet. It's only used internally in a LAN network, such as inside a home or a business organization. So now you ask me, if we use private IP address, then how are we accessing the internet? So here comes the role of the NAT, network address translation, which translates the private IP address to the public IP address to allow communication over the internet. And we have also the HTTP server, which is a dynamic host configuration protocol server. It's a network server that automatically assigns IP address, mostly private, and other network configuration parameters to devices on the same network, the LAN, for example, and it's usually built in the router. we have also the master, and in network terminology, a master typically refers to a central or primary device or entity that controls and manages other devices or processes within a network, which are mainly the slaves. And in contrast to the master, a slave device is in a network that is controlled or managed by the master device. And lastly, we have the SSH, Secure Shell, is a network protocol that provides a secure means of accessing and managing remote systems over an unsecured network. It allows users to securely log into a remote system and execute commands, transfer files, and perform other network-related tasks securely through an encrypted communication. So now we have finished the most basic network terminologies that you need to just understand to be able to do this setup. Now we are going to talk about a very important concept, which is virtualization and VirtualBox networking. So virtualization is a technology that allows you to create multiple instances of hardware on one physical machine. So you could typically have multiple operating systems on your computer, and each one of them is running in its own isolated environment, which is in the virtual machine. And this concept is very important in our setup because most of the contributors don't have access to physical devices more than one. They only have their laptop. So the most common case that each one has just one laptop. So to be able to do the Liquid Galaxy setup, we go to the virtualization solution to be able to run more than one machine by using the VirtualBox and virtual machines. And because it's very resource extensive, we just use 3 machines, 1 master and 2 slaves. So we now understood what is virtualization. We have to understand some of the VirtualBox networking configurations because we have plenty. And you have to understand them to be able to understand why do we use the NAT and the NAT network and the host-only network in our case in the virtual setup of the Liquid Galaxy. So, okay, so let's start. First, let me tell you, for example, you could have multiple virtual machines, just as in our case, we have 3 virtual machines. So you might need these machines to communicate with each other. You also might need them to access the internet. You also might need them to communicate with the host or other physical external device. So that is why we have to understand all these network configuration and tailor them to our use case. So let's start with the NAT. And the NAT is the default VirtualBox networking configuration. Any virtual machine, like the one we did, we found that its default is NAT network. And what the NAT typically does is that once we set up the NAT, it creates a virtual NAT device that assigns IP address as the gateway of that virtual machine. And this helps the virtual machine to use the internet through the host machine. So this means that the virtual machine can communicate with the host, and but the other way is not right, because the virtual machine has the private IP address from the DHC, and then it gets translated through the NAT through the host machine, which acts as the external network. And so the virtual machine can ping the host, but the other way around is not possible because the host doesn't have access to the IP address of the virtual machine. So this is for the NAT, and let me also show you that if you have multiple virtual machines, they won't be able to communicate with each other because each one of them is in their own subnet. So they are in different networks, so they can't see each other, but they can access the host. So as we see here, we have one virtual machine here, it can access the host, and here also we have one virtual machine can access the host, but they together cannot communicate with each other because they are in different networks. So this is the NAT. What about the NAT network? So it is similar to the NAT. However, we have a virtual router behind all these machines. So if we have more than one machine, we can have this virtual router, and the NAT can do the same the NAT network can do the same at the NAT, connect them all to the host machine and to have access to the internet. However, each one of them now they are all on the same network, so they can communicate with each other. So that's the only difference between the NAT network and the NAT. But also the other way around is not possible. The host cannot communicate with the machines. Only the machines can communicate with the host because it's their gateway to access the internet. So this is for the NAT network. Okay, we have also bridge network, internal network, and host-only network. The bridge network is not very applicable because it doesn't work mainly on Wi-Fi, and you have to use cables, so it could be not possible. But the bridge network the virtual machines act like they are physical machines. So it's like you have configured physical machines and they are all in the same network as your host computer. So they can communicate with each other and they can communicate with the host, can access internet and all sorts of things. The internal network, it acts as a virtual, there's a virtual switch. But here the point is there's no DHCP server that assigns IP address to the virtual machine. So you have to do static IP address to each virtual machine. And here the virtual machines are in a very small private network. So they can communicate with each other, but they can't communicate with the host. They can't access internet, and they're just in their own small private network. Okay, so the host-only network is exactly similar to the internal network. However, the host-only network adds the host to this small private network. So now the host and the virtual machines are in the same small private network. They can all communicate with each other. So I'm going to summarize all this. So here we have all the configurations. We can see the NAT can only access the host one way and has internet access. For the NAT network, it can access other VMs because they can all communicate with each other and they have internet access too. The bridge network has everything. The internal network has only access to other VMs. They only can communicate with each other, but no internet, no anything else. The host-only network is the same, but with the host too. And it's both ways in this case. So yeah, this is all about VirtualBox networking. I hope this gave you some intuition why we use NAT network and host-only network in our setup. Let me just check the installation. Okay, so it's still installed. Let's get back to the slides till it's installed. Okay, so the Liquid Galaxy architecture. I'm going to show you the physical one and the real one, the real setup and the virtual setup. So for the Liquid Galaxy rig setup with real PCs, as you see, they are all in the same network. They start with 192.168.1.x, and everything is just on the same network, the LAN internet. So this is the physical setup. As for the virtual setup, I will try to simplify it as much as I can. So we have a master machine and we have the slave machines, and we want them to communicate with each other. And also we want them to access the internet. So to do that, we have a NAT network, so they all can communicate with each other and access the internet. So this is for the green circle right here. And now we also have the host machine, and we wanted to communicate with the master machine. So to do that, we put them in the private network, which is the host-only network. And it typically starts with 192.168.xxx.5. And that is why the host can communicate with the master, and the master can communicate with the host, and they can ping each other. So this is the red circle here. And lastly, we have our application, because we have many Android applications that we want to control the master machine with, or send KML files, do anything. So to do that, we use SSH. And here is our LAN. So we have SSH servers on the master and SSH client. So the SSH client sends a request to the host machine, which is in the same network. And since the host is in the same network as the master, it will send the request again to the master, and then the master authenticates this request. And why, when we do any application in the LG, we have the username, the password, the IP address, and the port number. So it takes all this, and of course, many of you have noticed that we have this IP address mainly in all our apps. So it takes it, authenticates it, and then respond to the host machine, and the host machine responds to the application. So yes, this is why we need a NAT network and host-only network in our setup. So I hope it's now a little bit clear for you all. Okay, so let's check the installation. I guess it's close to finishing up. Yes, it's very close. So we could also continue with our slides for now till we wait for it to get installed. So I'm going to now tell you some of the problems and solutions that many of the contributors face while installing their setup. So we mainly have this error, kernel panic, not syncing, attempted to kill ideal task on any of the LGs, or CPU crashed. Mainly this is because we have to increase the number of cores, so increase it and try again. You also can try to upgrade or downgrade your VirtualBox. And problem 2, if any of the LG aborted or crashed, also increase the number of cores, but not too much, because it will also lead to crashing. Try restarting your laptop. And also, if you have enabled host-only network on the master, try disabling the host-only network again, and try restarting your laptop. For Google Earth doesn't load automatically on the master machine. So you have to repeat installation again with strong internet connection. And you have to make sure you're using Ubuntu version 16.04.7. This is very, very important. Okay, problem 4. Google Earth launches on the master, but not on the slaves, or one of the slaves. So first try the LG relaunch command. Then if it didn't work, you have to repeat the installation on the slave that had the problem, with good internet connection, of course. And we also have to check for the Ubuntu version that it's still the same, 16.04.7, with no upgrades or anything. Problem 5, unable to locate package. And here also check for the Ubuntu version. Problem 6, host key verification failed on LG relaunch. Make sure all the VMs are in the same network. Set up the NAT network correctly and enable host-only network. Also redo the LG setup on the VMs. Okay, the last problem is connection timeout on port 22. Okay, so here the solutions could be: make sure you connected to the masters and slaves to the NAT network, not NAT, and make sure your ISP has unblocked port 22, and try the different network connection, for example, your hotspot. Let's just check the installation. Okay, it's still installing. So random tips for just the installment: always have stable and strong internet connection during the whole process. Make sure to have Ubuntu version 16.04.7, not the upgraded version. Make sure to have the latest version of VirtualBox installed, and make sure to configure the NAT network communication as well as accessing the internet. Make sure to configure the host-only network on the master machine to allow communication between the host and the master, and accordingly the slaves. Make sure the adapted device that will control the rig is on the same network, either Wi-Fi or hotspot, as your host machine. Make sure to follow all the documentation steps correctly and wisely, because if you miss any step it will lead to errors. So just follow them wisely and correctly. So let's check our installation. So yes, I think one of them finished. Yes, one of them finished, and this is also about to finish. We can restart this one now.
Hello,
But
Mahinour.
let's wait for the other machines.
Hello.
Hello.
In the meantime,
Yes.
You don't see me, nobody at the camera, but I'm here. I want to congratulate you publicly again, because you are doing a pretty nice work, because you are installing the machines for real, and also
Yes.
making the explanations with the slides. So very good work, and let's hope that the machines time remaining, I don't know, 5 minutes. So let's wait if you are achieve the
Yes.
final thing. So continue.
Okay. So let's get back to the steps. So after the Ubuntu installation, we just have to do some more steps to get the LG working and set up correctly on the machines, like updating and upgrading and installing curl, installing the LG itself by the command on the master and then on the slaves, then relaunching, then creating a host-only network on the master, and checking that it's working correctly. So after the setup, I'm just going to wait for the master first, because we have everything to do the master first, then the slaves. So let's just wait a few minutes. Hello everyone, so I'm back, and unfortunately I had a small network issue while installing the LG in the last streaming, and we stopped at the point that we were trying to do sudo apt upgrade and sudo apt update, but it wasn't working due to the network error. But now luckily the network issue had been solved. So I wrote the commands, and I'm showing you now you the steps. Here it's asking for the upgrades, so we should say do not upgrade. Like I told you, you cannot upgrade. You should stick to the Ubuntu version 16.04.7. So okay. Here also don't upgrade. Okay. And here don't upgrade. And okay. So I'm just going to show you that we have just run the command for sudo apt here, sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade / force it, and it has been running nicely. And we did the same on the other two machines here and here. So this takes some time, just for about 15 minutes or something. So I'm just gonna wait for it to get installed and get back to you in the video and continue with the installation steps. So just let's wait for now. Now we're back. It finished the installation and the updating and upgrading. So we can see here done, and done. And I just want to say that if you face any message telling you that you want to continue or not, so just type Y, that stands for yes, and continue with the installation. So yes, we have finished now the update and upgrade. Now I'm going to run with you the next command we have to do, which is sudo apt curl and lsp square. Okay. And here too, sudo apt install curl lsp square, and here too, sudo apt install curl lsp square. And now we're going to run it. and here. Okay, and here, yes, continue. Yes, continue. And yes, continue. Yes, great. So we're going to wait for it to finish loading. Okay, until it loads, I'm going to open with you Firefox on the 3 machines, because we will need to copy paste the command or the script for the LG installation. Yes, so we have our Firefox here. We type in GitHub liquid. So we choose this link right here. If you choose the first one, let me tell you what to do. Yes, so it should open to this. You get down to copy the installation script. As you see here, we had to install curl and LSP core and LSP packages by this command right here. So because we need it later. So yes, this is the command that we're going to use to install and set up the LG on our machines. Here, if you open it to this link, just click on Liquid Galaxy right here, and it's going to open the same as those two. Let's get down there. And yes, the command right here, and here too, it's going to load, and we're going to get the command. Let's check with the terminal. Okay, yes, it finished. Good. Let's check here too. Done, and I guess add the master, the slave machine here too. Yes, all done. Okay, for the next step, we have to make sure that our internet connection is very, very good to avoid reinstalling and repeating the whole process. So we have to first run everything on the master machine first, and after it's set up and Google Earth runs on it and everything is okay, we do the same with LG3 and LG2. So now let's start with our master machine. So we copy this command right here. Okay, and then go to our terminal and paste it. Okay, enter. Yes, so now the machine ID for this one is 1 because this is LG1, so we type in 1. We have to save this IP address because it's very important. You're going to need it later, so I'm telling you, just save it and let me write it. Okay, so again, I'm reminding you, don't forget to save it for later, because when you're going to install on the slave machines, you're going to need to enter it. So don't forget to just save it. So I saved it here, and let's continue. The total machines count in our case will be 3, and the unique number that identifies your galaxy, let's type 69. Do you want to install extra drivers? No, so we enter N. And everything here is correct. Now enter. As I told you, I have to wait for the master machine to finish everything. So we are just going to wait for it. So yes, it's getting installed now. Do you want to continue? Yes. And it takes a while, maybe for about 20 minutes or something, maybe less. So I'm going to wait for it, and once it's done, I'm going to get back to the video and continue with you the rest of the steps. I'm just going to show you that if it asked for the passphrase, you just press enter and continue. You don't have to do anything here in this step. So, and enter again, and that's it. We will wait for the installation to get completed, and I will get back to you. So we can see now that the installation has been completed and that the Liquid Galaxy installation completed. So I'm just going to remind you here that do not press enter, because sometimes this causes errors. So don't press enter from the script here, just get here and shut down, then restart. So yes, now we're going to wait for it to reboot or restart, and then Google Earth should automatically open up to make sure that everything worked well. If it didn't, then you have to repeat the installation to be able to, because it might have been an internet connection error or anything, so you have to repeat the installation. And yes, so we're going to wait for it to open up. So we see that the LG powered up. And we can see that Google Earth is starting up, so this is a good thing. Now we wait for it to open up. Yes, so Google Earth opened up, and this is a good sign that our installation was correct. Now that we have done the master, we should proceed with the other 2 machines. So let's do the same and get the installation script. We can also stop the Earth from spinning by going to Tools, Options, and from here, Navigation, and then make this here and restore defaults, then OK, and OK. So yes, the Earth stopped spinning. Okay, so now we're going to just copy the commands from here. Yes, this one. Okay, and we're going to paste it in the terminal. Let's do the same here. So yes, and enter. So here, since this is LG2, so here the ID is 2. And yes, here, as I told you, we need to save the IP address for the master machine when we were doing the installation here. So we will need it here. So it was 10.0.2.13. And for the password and the total machine count and 69. No. Okay, so yes, we wait for this to finish installation. Let's do the same here. It's LG3, so 3. And here 10.0.2. And here the password. And the total machine counts are 3. And 69. No. Okay, so now we wait for the installation to happen in both of those machines. And if it asked for the passphrase too, we just press enter and continue normally. So I'm going to get back to you when the installation is completed. So we see that the installation finished in both of the slave machines. So we are going to restart now, like I told you from here. So shut down and then restart. And here too. So we do the same here. And we wait for them to open up. We should see Google Earth once they open up. And if we didn't, we have to do LG relaunch command. So we see that the machine started up again, and we have to do the LG relaunch command to check that everything is working well. So let me just go to the terminal and we type in LG relaunch. Yes, so they are relaunching. This is a good thing. And when they open up, they should open Google Earth automatically, as we will see soon once they open up. So Google Earth is starting up on the master machine and on the slaves. Yes, so they started up, and this means that our installation was correct and was done correctly. So let's just stop the Earth from spinning. And let's zoom in a little bit. So we see now that everything is synchronized. Yes, and everything is just, yes, good. So this was the LG setup step. And now I'm going to show you the last step, which is the host-only network setup. we do it on the master machine only. So yes, I'm going just to close those for now by sending shutdown signal. Great, so let's open our VirtualBox. And we opened our VirtualBox. Okay, so let me get back to the steps, and we see here that we have relaunched and we have done all the 10 steps. Now we need to create the host-only network and check that the host-only network is working on the master. So let's do that. Well, let's just stop us. Yes, they are all powered off. So now let's get here. We go to the network, and here we just create one. So it's getting created now. Yes, and here it is. So I'm just going to show you that you have to make sure in the DHCP server that it's enabled. So check this and apply. And yes, everything is working well. It's 192.168.27.1. Here it's 192.168.27, and it's 0.2.3 and 0.254. So everything is well and correct. Okay, so now we go to the master settings, network, and for adapter 2, we enable network adapter. So we have two adapters, one for the NAT network and the other would be for the host only adapter. And we have this one, and okay. And as I told you, why we need the host only adapter to create a communication between the host and the master machine and to put them in a small private network. And for the NAT, like I told you before, that we need it so all LGs can communicate together and for them to access the internet. So let's start our LG up again. So they are starting up right here. So they opened up and Google Earth will just start up. And until it opens up, I'm just going to open the terminal and write ifconfig. As we see here, yes, so this appears here. This means that the host-only network is set up correctly, and we can ping the virtual machines from here. So let's open up. Let me just bring back the terminal. Yes, so we can ping. Yes, so everything is working correctly, and this means that our host-only network is set up correctly. Let's close this and this. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you is how we use the first virtual machine, which is BlueStacks, is our virtual Android tablet. So we can test one of the applications of Liquid Galaxy on the Play Store. So we open BlueStacks from here, and you can just easily download it by typing in BlueStacks on Google, and it will show up on the first link. So you just have to download it, and it will open up with you. Okay, so once you open it, you can go here to App Player. And it will open up the App Player here, so we just, yes. So you can open the Play Store from here and sign into your account, then open the Play Store. I already have those two apps here, so we can try them out. So let's do that. So the first thing we have to do is go to the connection manager, and here in our case it was 27. So and yes, it's connected. So this is a good sign, and let's get back. Let's try some. For example, let's go to the custom builder, and let's see the lava flow, buildings destroyed. Okay, wait, something happened with the connection. Let's go back again. No, it's connected. Yes, everything is good. So let's go back here, lava flow, and let's choose this, for example, and this, for example, and visualize in LG. Good, so it's flying to the volcano, and it's just a little bit laggy and slow. But here it is, and the camels are showing, and everything is synchronized together. Yes, it's very nice. So maybe also we could go to the LG tasks, maybe clean the KMLs. Yes, right here. So let's try the Smart City app. So we need to connect. So let's connect first. Let's go to New York, but we go here to the About, settings, and then change it. And connect to LG. Yes, it's connected. And we can go back to the city. Yes, it's going to fly to New York. And we can see here the map will be synchronized with them too. So if we moved this a little, this will move too. Yes. We can also try going to different one. And everything is just working well, so we can also play orbit. So yes, now we have our 3 virtual machines, and the 4th one, which is the BlueStacks app player that acts as a virtual tablet instead of having a physical one. But if you already have a physical one, this is a good thing, and you can try it out, because you have to make sure that everything is working in the real setup and using real physical tablet devices, as all these apps and everything you do is going to be tested in Yada Lab, and with real setup and real virtual real tablet. So yes, I guess this is all for the Liquid Galaxy virtual setup, and I hope everyone now has a clearer view of everything and understanding the whole process. And yes, so this is it, and thank you.